It's actually considered a loss leader in all these supermarkets. I thought that was just for like Costco, because Costco's are like super cheap, but apparently for all supermarkets that have rotisserie chicken, it's just to get people in the store, and they lose money on all of them. Hi everyone, I'm Dan Giusti. Today I'm being challenged to turn 2 supermarket rotisserie chickens into 4 affordable meals, all for less than $3 a serving. A breakfast, a snack, a lunch, and a dinner. Supermarket rotisserie chickens provide a lot of value in themselves. You go to the market, you pick them up, and you've got dinner ready to go. But by being a little creative, you can transform them into a variety of meals, extending their value even further. Before we get into making any of the dishes, we gotta break down our first rotisserie chicken here. A beautiful thing about rotisserie chicken, these things just fall apart. Find where it connects, grab it there, slowly pull it off. So we have the chicken thigh that is still connected to the drumstick. We have the chicken wings. We have a few bits of meat. We have the chicken breasts. We have the chicken skin. And then we have the remainder of the chicken carcass itself, along with some random bits that kind of fell off. We haven't thrown anything away at this point, except for the string. We got rid of the string. Because if you really wanted to, you could cook the string and get the flavor out of the string. I would suggest that. That's a little outrageous. Actually, just forget I said that, because that's really not a good idea. It's dangerous, in fact. It is time to start with the dishes, and we will begin with breakfast. We'll be making a breakfast-style chicken cacciatore. It's a stew typically made with chicken or rabbit, and that stew has tomatoes, red bell peppers, mushrooms, sometimes olives. Some people would refer to the meat that comes from the drumstick, the thigh, and the wing as dark meat, and that's what we'll be using for this chicken cacciatore dish, as well as the skin. So all the skin from the one bird is now in this bowl. So I have my kind of high-sided pan here. I've turned it on high heat just to get a little preheated. I'm gonna take my skin and I'm gonna chop it up. There is still some fat on these pieces of skin that has not rendered out, meaning it has not really cooked and become crispy. Pan's pretty hot. If I just add this chicken skin to this pan as it is, it might start to singe before it actually crisps up. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some of the olive oil to this first. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here. Get a nice little sizzle. Spread this out. So you might feel it gets stuck. You just get it off there. We don't want to waste any of it. While this cooks, we're gonna start to prepare our vegetables. So we have mushrooms. We have 1 bell pepper. We have an onion. We have some garlic and some chili flakes. The first thing we're gonna do here, while this pan is hot, is roast the mushrooms. So our skin's nice and crispy. Mushrooms are roasting. I'm gonna add a touch more oil. If there's not enough fat in the pan, you're not gonna roast your mushrooms. They are gonna start to steam. I am not gonna add salt to the mushrooms. Salt draws out liquid from the mushrooms, thus prohibiting them from roasting. Again, we want to roast the mushrooms. We're not trying to steam them. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the pepper. So the top of the pepper, the bottom of the pepper, you might not get this uniform cut like your other pieces. It's gonna taste great though. Don't throw it away. It probably makes up like 10% of the pepper. It's so wasteful and it doesn't make any sense. All right, so my mushrooms are starting to get caramelized. This is kind of what we're looking for. So I'm gonna go ahead and add peppers. We're gonna use about half an onion for this. So now that our mushrooms have roasted, I'm gonna go ahead and add some salt to this. I'm also gonna put some chili flakes in this dish. It's nice to put your spices in during the process where they're gonna get toasted a bit. This will kind of activate some of the flavor. So we have 2 cloves of garlic here. I'm gonna slice this thin. Put as much as you want in here. All right, so our peppers, our onions, our garlic has softened. Our mushrooms are nice and roasted. Chicken skin is crispy. We are ready to start the stew part of this. Crushed tomatoes and water. Tomato can scorch really easily. So now we want our heat to be medium low. And I'm also gonna go ahead and add the chicken at this point. I've left the chicken pieces large. So as soon as it starts to simmer, turn it down just a little bit. So it's a slow simmer. We're gonna move on to the other parts of the dish. We're gonna fry an egg and we need some chopped parsley to garnish as well. I'm gonna go ahead and chop the parsley first. It's funny with things like canned tomatoes. They taste like canned tomatoes for quite some time. And then there's that like magic moment where all of a sudden they don't taste like canned tomatoes anymore. That's what we're looking for. But I am gonna add a bit of salt to this. And I'm gonna add a bit of black pepper. Pepper is one of those things that if you buy pre-ground pepper, you might as well put like sawdust on your dish. And I'm not trying to be silly here, funny. If you take pepper that is in a container that's been pre-ground off the supermarket shelf and put it in your mouth, and put this in your mouth, it does not taste like the same thing. Now, we're gonna take a couple slices of baguette. I'm gonna cook an egg, touch of vegetable oil. I personally only like eating eggs with runny yolks when I have something to really soak up that yolk, and this is the perfect preparation for it. Season the egg. The stew's ready to go. I'm gonna turn the heat off now, let it settle just a bit. Time to toast the bread. So we're gonna take these 2 pieces of bread. We're gonna go with the stew first. Straight on the bread so it kind of soaks in. Taste it off my finger. That's what the customers like to see. And then a bit of parsley. And there you have it. Chicken cacciatore breakfast style. We are all set to taste this thing. Break this yolk up a bit. Let it run down into the bread. Go ahead and crush this thing with my hands, just because I'm an animal. As you can see, it's pretty hearty. Very suitable, I think, for a nice brunch. This is a win. Time to move on to the snack. We are going to make chicken salad. We're gonna use the breast. So this lean meat that's going to remain cold and just chopped and then added to the salad is ideal for a dish like this. Now, we are using this as a dip, so we don't want them to be huge because otherwise we're not gonna be able to pick up the salad itself. But I wanna keep them in larger chunks. I'm gonna start with the mayonnaise. I'm using honey mustard. Mustard and mayonnaise in a chicken salad. This is pretty traditional stuff here. A bit of the olive oil. I like to do that when I make mayonnaise-based salads. So even when I make tuna salad, I put probably half the amount of mayonnaise in. And it's honestly, it's more of a flavor thing for me and a textural thing. It's not so much of a health thing. Of course, olive oil is a little more expensive, so we kind of use it sparingly, but I think we have a good ratio here. It's still a very cost-effective recipe. Incorporate things in gently as to not break everything up. So we're gonna add a little salt, so a little pepper, and then we're gonna put some tarragon. We're gonna use this pretty sparingly. It's just very strong stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a taste. I'm happy with that. Now, I'm gonna serve this salad cold. So I'm gonna put this in the fridge. In the meantime, we're gonna get the rest of the preparation ready to go. So we have our fruits and vegetables for the crudité, and we also have some walnuts here as a garnish. First thing we're gonna do is toast the walnuts. I'm gonna put this on low heat. They're very high in fat, so when you're toasting these, they can go from like toasted to burnt very quickly. Hopefully I don't do that. Just pay attention. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut our fruits and vegetables for the crudité. We have a Basque pear here. The skin is really what provides this like acidity and balance. It's almost like if you eat a pear without the skin, it doesn't taste like a pear. I can smell these nuts toasting. Once you start to smell the nuts toasting, you're good to go. I'm gonna turn this off, just kind of put this to the side. Continue on with the pears. We're gonna keep it pretty large. I think this is a gala apple. Is this a gala apple? We have a Honeycrisp apple here. Take the same approach on this apple. Same thing here, we wanna keep the peel on. We have some endive. Endive is a beautiful bitter green that's really dense, crispy, and crunchy. I like to cut these in like wedges. It's more substantial, it's juicier, it's more in line with what we're doing here. By keeping the root intact, I'll be able to get nice spears of this endive and they will stay together. There you go. This is slick. And we have celery. Just yank this out of the middle of the whole celery. This is the best part of the celery. This is super tender. It's very delicate in flavor, it's delicious. Inner parts of celery, we're gonna use both the ribs and the leaves. I've taken the leaves off these so I can chop those leaves and garnish the salad with them. Walnuts are here, celery's here, vegetables are cut, and we are ready to plate the dish. So our salad is out of the fridge. So we're gonna take one side of the bowl and use that for the salad. Start with our fruits and vegetables. You can do this however you want. Last thing, we have our toasted walnuts. I'm just gonna put them on top of the chicken salad. A little more olive oil I'm gonna add over everything. A little black pepper on everything. We have our chopped celery to finish things off. And this is my chicken salad crudité style. We'll give it a taste. It's so tasty, and the thing is, what's fun is I just ate it with an apple. When you eat it with the celery, when you eat it with the pear, when you eat it with the endive, it's gonna taste different. Each bite's gonna be a little bit different, and that's what we want. It keeps it interesting, keeps people eating, keeps it tasty. For lunch, we are having a slab salad. What is a slab salad? Think wedge salad, but instead of cutting the lettuce into wedges, we are cutting them into discs, as in slabs. A pretty simple, no-brainer combination here, makes for a delicious lunch. So we're on to our second full rotisserie chicken here, and we've taken the thigh, drumstick, and wing off that chicken. So we're gonna get into breaking this one down. Try to break it down in a way that people wouldn't think, oh wow, this came from a rotisserie chicken. We're gonna do our best to keep the pieces here as large as possible. What I would say is just kind of feel your way through. Anything that you don't think is suitable to eat, like the cartilage, the bone, we're putting in this bowl and we're gonna use this all later. Not throwing anything away. I think all the meat is ready to go here. Then we're gonna broil them and get that skin nice and crispy, warm through the meat. All right, so it is time to make the blue cheese dressing for our slab salad. We have mayonnaise and sour cream as the base of the dressing. We have a little bit of garlic powder. So we have crumbled blue cheese that you can usually buy already crumbled in the supermarket. And a little bit of water, salt, and some black pepper. Give this a stir. So this is a nice texture we have here. I'm gonna give it a taste. Super tasty. One thing you'll notice with the blue cheese dressing is as it sits, the blue cheese flavor will permeate through the whole dressing. Right now, the only time I taste blue cheese is if I actually get a piece of the cheese. Making the blue cheese dressing yourself is not cheaper than buying it from the store, but the quality is much higher. By having the rotisserie chicken be kind of the star of this dish, it provides us a lot of value and gives us some room to buy some quality blue cheese and put into our dressing here. So dressing's all set. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it. All right, put it in the fridge. All right, we're making a slab salad. So we have a whole head of iceberg lettuce and we're gonna cut this into 4 slabs. The root is gonna help keep everything together while we're doing this. We'll take the root off at the end. Always cleaning up as we go. We have 1 medium-sized tomato. We're gonna cut it into 12ths. We need to make our wing sauce now. You can use any type of hot sauce you want. This hot sauce is pretty spicy. There's a lot of hot sauces out there in terms of a condiment that you would put on something just on its own, a drop here, drop there. They're great like that, but if you're gonna coat something in that sauce, some of those hot sauces are just like way too much. So adding a bit of melted butter, it adds a bit of richness, but it also tones down the sauce itself. All right, chicken is ready to go. So out of the broiler, I'm gonna get the skin kind of a little crisp. We don't wanna burn it. So we have our melted butter. We're gonna go ahead and add the butter into our sauce here, into our hot sauce. Just kind of stir that around, nothing crazy. Now we're gonna mix our chicken into this. It's important that the chicken is pretty hot when you're mixing this. Because we're putting melted butter in here, and this chicken wasn't hot, that butter's gonna really start to set up, and we don't want that. Trying to be careful, we're just kind of folding it in. If you wanna get a little fancy, and I can do the old like bowl flip thing. Not gonna do that because it'll probably go wrong for me here. Chicken's done, slabs are cut, tomatoes. I'm gonna season with salt. I'm gonna go get the dressing. Okay, blue cheese dressing out of the fridge. You're gonna notice that it's set up a lot more than it was before because it's cold. Before we serve this, I'm gonna give it a quick taste. It's even better. We're ready to assemble the slab salad. I'm gonna grab my most beautiful slab. You need to remember that the amount of dressing that you're putting on top needs to account for the rest of the lettuce underneath. It's not like your traditional salad where you're tossing everything together. I'm gonna kind of intertwine tomato and chicken. All right, so to finish the dish, I'm gonna take some chives here, take the tops off, chop a few chives real quick. A little hot sauce drizzle. You don't see a lot of hot sauce drizzles. I feel like people don't think hot sauce deserves a drizzle. I think hot sauce deserves a drizzle. We're gonna put our chives on, and then we're gonna put some black pepper on top. And there you have it, the old slab salad with rotisserie chicken and blue cheese dressing. I'm gonna get everything on here. A little bit of lettuce, a little bit of chicken. It's banging. This is delicious. This is one of those I'm supposed to taste it, and then we're done here. We just wanna keep eating it. All right, it's dinner time. We are making a dish of chicken and biscuits. For that, we're gonna be using the breast of the chicken as the meat, and we're also going to be using the rest of the bird that we did not use, which is primarily the carcass, and we're actually gonna use the skin from this breast as well to make a stock as the base of the soup of this chicken and biscuits dish. So we're gonna make the stock first. We do a little bit of kind of mix and match here. We have some store-bought stock. We're gonna add water to this, equal parts water and stock. We're gonna add our bones. We are using every single piece of the chicken. Nothing has gone in the trash here. I'm gonna turn it on high heat just so we get it going. We'll go ahead and add the skin. We're gonna bring it to a simmer. Once it's to a simmer, 15, 20 minutes, we're gonna have a stock. It's not gonna be intense in flavor. It's gonna be a great base to the soup. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move this to a larger burner. So all right, our stock has been simmering here for about 15 minutes. Flavor's developing. While it kind of finishes up, we're gonna get the stew itself started. We have carrots, celery, onion. Think like chicken noodle soup, those kind of flavors. That's kind of what we're going for. If you want these slightly larger, you can cut them slightly larger. I wouldn't cut them any smaller. This kind of soup, you want to eat these vegetables. So if you cut them smaller, they're gonna kind of start to disintegrate a bit. They're not gonna really add to the soup. We're gonna add some butter in here. We're gonna turn this pan on. We will be making what's called a roux, the French term that is R-O-U-X. Essentially, it's a combination of butter and flour to thicken something. 2 cloves of garlic. I'm actually gonna add some salt to these vegetables. The salt will draw out some of the moisture and promote the sweating of these vegetables. Sweating is when, just like it sounds, the liquid's gonna come out and they're gonna cook in a way that they're not gonna caramelize. While this continues to cook, we're gonna go ahead and deal with our chicken meat. So we have chicken breast. We're gonna keep it in large pieces. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the flour and then we're gonna start to stir it. All right, so I think we're there. So we're gonna go ahead and strain the stock, add a small amount and let it thicken. Already, you can see this, that quickly it's thick. So we're gonna go ahead and add more stock, stir this in again, bring it back to a simmer, and we basically repeat this process. Why do we add the stock in increments? Adding in increments gives me control. So I'm gonna add a little bit of stock, it's gonna come to a simmer, I'm gonna see where it's at. I'm gonna add a little more stock, I'm gonna see again, and then we keep going until we're where we need to be. There are no lumps in here. It's really incorporated into the stock that we currently have. So we can add it, I can just start pouring it directly out of the bowl. I'm not gonna add it all. All right, we're gonna go ahead and taste this, see where we're at. I'll tell you what, sometimes I impress myself. There's so much flavor in this. We used half water. Half of this is just water. We put a bit of salt in for the vegetables. We haven't even added the meat, and already it's super flavorful. We're gonna add some chopped parsley, stems and all. Heat's off now. So we're gonna go ahead and add the chicken. We are going to be using biscuits from a can. They are more expensive than if you were to make biscuits on your own. That takes a lot of time and effort. We've made the decision here to find some value by purchasing this supermarket rotisserie chicken. So we have a meal that's very inexpensive, which has afforded us to use canned biscuit. They're all ready to go. So we got 8 biscuits here. This is ready to go in the oven. We'll check back in about 15 to 20 minutes. Usually just look at whatever the direction says on here. It might take slightly longer because they're cooking in the stock, but it's not gonna take much longer. All right, so it's exciting now. We've got some beautiful looking biscuits, but they're not quite there. So we're gonna put some melted butter. I've found that these biscuits won't brown the way we want them to brown without the addition of a little bit of butter. A little bit of salt. So back in the oven we go. All right. So I was excited before, I'm more excited now. You get these biscuits that get boiled underneath, so it's like a dumpling. And then on top, they get cooked in the oven, so you see the more traditional kind of biscuit shape, so you get that flakiness that you want from a biscuit. But this underneath part is super delicious because it just has the broth, this flavored broth boiling into it. So we're gonna go with 2 biscuits. The pieces of chicken have remained large, as you can see here. And this broth is just slightly thickened. So this will set up a little more, it will thicken even slightly more. So before you think to yourself, oh, I would have liked it a bit thicker, just wait a second, because it will thicken up, more will absorb into the biscuits as it cools down as well. And there you have it, chicken and biscuits made with supermarket rotisserie chicken and canned biscuits. Give it a shot here, nice big piece of chicken. When you keep the chicken big, not only does it look great, but it stays nice and juicy. It's a big hunk of chicken. Definitely the way to go. I think I'm just gonna pick the biscuit up. Just so good. With this broth boiled in and this crunchy, salty, buttery other side, I mean, this is pretty spot on. We took what was just half of a supermarket rotisserie chicken, spent a little time, and turned it into a delicious and affordable meal that is super substantial. Supermarket rotisserie chickens provide a ton of value and they're delicious, but just because they're ready to eat does not mean you need to eat them always as they are. Just by being a little creative and taking some ingredients you have around the house, you can turn one supermarket rotisserie chicken into a variety of cool meals.